Welcome to Gooch Theory, Episode 2. Today's topic is going to be scales. Now, what is a scale? To put it simply, all a scale is a way to organize notes that sound good together, that are in the same key, and put them in context that they can be used for music. Now, there are loads of different types of scales, but today we're just going to focus on the two most common ones, that being our major scale and our minor scale. These are the two scales you're going to run into the most often, and you definitely need to know them. So let's start with our major scale. The major scale is characterized typically by sounding happy or upbeat. Um, the one on the screen is the C major scale, which is known as one of the easiest scales given the fact that it has no accidentals, meaning no sharps or flats. If you went through every note here, every single one of them would be natural, starting from C and ending back on C. Now, when it comes to organizing scales, you generally do it in a series of whole steps and half steps, which are just a type of interval. The interval sequence for a major scale goes like this, starting with a whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, and a half step. If you do this correctly, you should land on a C note directly one octave above the note you started on. A C major scale sounds like this. Moving on to our next scale, the minor scale is typically characterized as sounding like melancholy or sad, quite the opposite of the major scale. And the pattern is similar, but we do have some key differences. We'll start on the note A minor and go up the scale with a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step, and then a whole step. Now you'll notice that much like the C major scale, the A minor scale has no sharps or flats, meaning that all the notes are exactly the same as the C major scale. More on that later. A correctly constructed A minor scale will sound like this. Now, how come when we play the same notes in a different order, the vibe of the scale is different? Well, the answer is context, and that's all scales are. They're taking a set of notes that belong to a key and putting them in context to where they, give off some type of idea. That's all most of music is. That's all chords are. That's all melodies and songs are. That's all any of it is. But for a technical term, we would call this a relative key. So for every major scale, there is a relative minor scale, and vice versa. A minor is the relative minor scale of C major. So although they are two different scales, they share the same notes, and the only real difference is the context behind the two of them. That'll be all for today. Make sure you answer the previous two questions as well as these in the comments, and leave any questions you might have for me down there as well. This has been Gooch Theory Episode 2, Scales.